I can feel the shaping of my trauma's purpose. Why must you keep me on the cusp of actualization? The dam in my mind is breaking.
God honors your patience, little Mako. He will reward you for your efforts, even if you can't see the extent of his vision.
Why does he let me feel empathy that he knows almost no one can understand?
You underestimate his ability to transform the heart, little Mako. He will give you the instruction you need when the time comes. Trust him, and he will make your paths straight.
The systematic effort to manipulate other people's beliefs, attitudes, or actions by means of symbols. With a definition this vague, it's shocking how unwilling some people are to admit that propaganda exists, as well as its effects on their views. The internet is typically labeled as the main distributor of propaganda. This may be true in the modern age. However, the entertainment industry has had a much greater power of influence throughout history. For centuries, governments have used art to shape the behavior of their citizens. Most Americans associate the word propaganda with World War II-era Nazi imagery, believing it to be a tool used exclusively by evil regimes that are nothing like their home country, despite the fact that the 1915 American film Birth of a Nation had an equally vile message. In the decades following World War II, the US government would begin experimenting with mind control through the Project MKUltra, in which unwitting participants were given LSD and observed without their knowledge.
MKUltra was a government program run by the Central Intelligence Agency, originally started as something called Bluebird in 1948-49, morphed into Artichoke, and then in 1952 became MKUltra. It was a mind control program, a brainwashing program. The CIA was trying to learn how to control people's behavior without their knowledge.
Once the effectiveness of these methods were concluded, hallucinogens became an artificial trend in the West.
This was an apartment that was decked out, or as he called it, tricked out to look like a communal hippie place. He had 6 graduate students, and I have his letters to them before they came to work in this. He goes, grow your hair long, wear jeans, dress like hippies, and lure people in there. The fact that all these kind of interesting research programs merged at the Haight, at the clinic, and then Manson came out of it with the power to do exactly what the MKUltra had been trying to create for up to that point, I thought was worth investigating further. They all said, oh yeah, Charlie was, we knew it was Charlie and the girls. They come in every day or every few days to see Roger.
This period of enlightenment was characterized by some of the most impactful works of art in recent history. This art championed a cultural revolution plotted by the very establishment it claimed to rail against, the New Age movement.
Meg and I had a feeling that you would be on that train.
In Watchlisted, It's Not an Owl, I spoke about Hollywood movies being used as a tool to prepare us for knowledge of extraterrestrial life. This method of indoctrination extends into various other subjects, such as the sexual revolution, women's rights, and the LGBT movement. This process has been given the name predictive programming by entertainment analysts. The word predictive is used to describe how media can seemingly predict future events and cultural shifts. The goal of this programming is to condition audiences into accepting these plans by giving them a theatrical depiction first, with the hopes that the viewer will generate a desired response. If the concept of artists deliberately using their skills to facilitate the New World Order is hard to digest, let me remind you how the creative process works. As far back as antiquity, creatives have spoken about muses and mystic sensations being their source of inspiration, stating that forces outside themselves seem to strike at a particular moment, resulting in works of art, that the imagination, on some level, is metaphysical. Given these accounts, we must consider the possibility that these artists are being used as vessels unwittingly to convey these messages. There are a wide variety of channels dedicated to decoding spiritual symbolism in our media. I will be using content from the channel White Rabbit to demonstrate how predictive programming was used in the case of the pee-pee cough and poo-poo injection. The clips you are about to see were uploaded in August of 2014, 6 years before the pee-pee
Contagion and World War Z. Man, these two movies are pure and simple vaccine propaganda movies. They were made for the sole purpose of promoting the vaccine agenda, and specifically the vaccine in a situation. In both films, the happy ending is the government coming in, saving the day with the vaccine.
With regard to, again, in true Hegelian style, Hegelian dialectic is where you cause a problem which causes a reaction that you just so happen to have the solution for already ready to go, right? So, okay, just imagine this. Whoever they are, they're responsible for everything, right? Release a really bad flu of some sort. Well, imagine this. If you don't get the shot that they've got all ready to go for you, no shot or cure means, well, you don't have a job. If you don't take it, there's no cure, no job, you end up being quarantined. Oh, you don't want to take the shot? You don't want to take what really I believe is going to be the mark of the beast? Well, fine, you're going to have to be quarantined.
It's highly disturbing how accurately the video has aged. Another shocking and more detailed example on White Rabbit's channel is his analysis of the 1985 film Back to the Future as predictive programming for the 2001 9/11 attacks. I have included links to these videos as well as related channels in the description.
I'm an MK Ultra victim. There's poison in my system.
Linking back to MK Ultra. As I described, it was an experiment about mind control through chemical means. I have also shown you that with predictive programming, drugs aren't always necessary. I would like to present you with a possible example of both forms of mind control being used together. Mass murder.
Their main objective was to create what they called hypno-programmed assassins, people who would kill on command through drugs and hypnotism. The objective was to get people to go and commit an act of murder against their moral code.
Psychologists have warned that the media's coverage of these crimes plays a role in motivating future attacks, that these killers desire recognition and relish in the broadcasting of their actions. The media's handling of the 1999 Columbine High School massacre being the best example. Broadcasters constructed a narrative of two outcasts in the trenchcoat mafia lashing out against bullies and dying in a blaze of glory. This resonated with many isolated young Americans. An alarming amount of shooters reference Columbine as a source of inspiration, and unfortunately, Eric and Dylan continue to have a dark sense of celebrity around them. You could say that Columbine sparked its own subcultural revolution. They wait like a quiet, unassuming person in the crowd, a nice person who wouldn't seem like they could harm a fly, shoot a gun, or slash with a knife. But oh buddy, they will, and with cold as hell energized accuracy. They wait to be activated to kill, slaughter, and unleash hell in society so the demons can dance and their leader can emerge as savior of humanity. A savior for humanity whom they say can bring a new order out of the chaos. They know what they are to do. They know what is planned, and most of them wait with dark, bated breath, charged by ancient fallen spirits. A Black Awakening. One interesting fact was that both Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold were reported to have been taking the drugs Luvox, Paxil, and Zoloft. Some studies link these SSRI antidepressants to violent and suicidal behavior. Given what we know about MKUltra and the impact of media coverage, we could ask the question, is the cultural phenomena of mass shootings an attempt to disarm Americans through trauma-based mind control? I am not stating overtly that I believe this to be the case. I am merely wondering, is it possible?
People witnessed Christ doing miracles. People witnessed Christ die on the cross. People witnessed Christ days after he died on the cross, alive. He said, I'll be back, and he was.
The things I've discussed in this video may be frightening and may leave you feeling helpless, but remember who will triumph in the end. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other, and many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. See, I have told you all ahead of time. We cannot stop the progression of the New World Order, but we can brace ourselves by decoding entertainment with the right set of eyes.
Longfully reminiscing? Your old friends must be happy to see you. They don't know about your stunt at the FBI.
No, I made a promise all those years ago, and I don't know if I can keep it.
You ask too much of people, Agent Mako. His suffering is something that you understand because of your extremely rare experience. They will never see him in the light that you do.
They can't possibly take it that badly. They have to know that I come with good intentions. Why is my empathy so strange? Why is it so wrong?
Your mask is slipping, little Mako. They're going to know the traumas that motivate you. You can't outrun your history, and you can't save him.